Today, I have picked up the topic of net worth verification. What is net worth verification process in the Provincial Nominee Program for Entrepreneurs? How can we address this process? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sajjad Malik. I'm a barrister and solicitor, a business and immigration lawyer, and I'm speaking to you from my office in Oakville, Ontario. Today, I have picked up the topic of net worth verification. What is net worth verification process in the Provincial Nominee Program for Entrepreneurs? How can we address this process? What are the best practices for net worth verification? And how can you establish that you have a certain net worth which you have declared in your expression of interest with a province or territory for its Provincial Nominee Program for Entrepreneurs? Now, when a lawyer is evaluating a client in the initial meetings or initial assessments, they often ask you about your net worth, what your net worth is. And net worth means all the assets which are in your name, assets, accounts, stocks, and other different immovable as well as movable properties minus any of the liabilities. That term used is net worth, and net worth is important to evaluate whether you could be eligible to apply for a certain province's entrepreneur program. Now, this net worth is determined at a later stage through a formal process which is called net worth verification process, but initially you are just declaring your net worth in your expression of interest, but that becomes the basis of your net worth verification process. So you must not declare anything which you are unable to prove at a later stage. The total value of your net worth will contribute towards your eligibility for a particular entrepreneur program, or the points which you could grab based on your net worth would also be determined on the total value of verified net worth which you have. Now, once you submit your expression of interest, afterwards, if your expression of interest is selected, you get or you receive an invitation to apply. That's the time when you have to provide evidence of everything which you declared in your expression of interest, including your business management or business ownership experience. You have to provide a complete business plan in which you are talking about your marketing, your finance, your people's policy, how you would conduct operations, how would you invest the money, what is your net worth, and so on. And finally, the net worth process in which you engage a Canadian accounting firm, most likely one of the big fours, or another firm which has been vetted by the province, and that firm will determine your net worth, and ultimately they will report to the province or territory whether your net worth came out to be exactly the same or lower compared to your initial expression of interest. Now, during that process, when you start your net worth process, you have to retain that particular accounting firm which that province or territory has suggested, and then that net worth process kicks in once you sign the retainer agreement with them. Now, this firm would require you most likely in most of the cases to complete a narrative document and provide the documentation of all your assets, of their acquisition, of their disposal, of the taxes which you paid on any gains, any losses which you earned, the titles which you have, and they may also ask you to begin with to make an assessment or to get an assessment from one of the or licensed valuers in your own jurisdiction, and then later on they start working on the package. Now, each and every asset, how you created that asset, that's important. If when you were buying an asset at that time you didn't have legal sources of acquiring that asset, when at a later stage whatever the value of that asset becomes, that asset would be excluded from your net worth. Just to give you an example, if you bought an asset worth $100,000 in 2010 and you did not have sources, legal white money for acquisition of that asset, later on, even if that asset has gone to the value of, hypothetically speaking, $2 million, you won't be able to take that $2 million value into your net worth. And if you have claimed $2 million value of that asset in your expression of interest, but you are unable to establish the sources of that asset when you bought it in $100,000, then whole of the $2 million would be excluded from it. Similarly, if you have declared cash amount and some money, liquid money, dollars or Canadian dollars, US dollars or any other currency, in your expression of interest, and that currency you cannot show in your bank statement, then whole of the value of that asset would also be reduced. Similarly, if you had any liabilities against certain assets, naturally that will subtract or reduce the value of your gross worth, and it will be taken out of your worth to reach the net worth value. It's very important to show the legal sources of, say, taxation or your audits by the government or different government departments, where they have also verified the value of your assets, and they have verified the sources, they have verified the profits which you gained out of it, and you have paid taxes on this. This is one of the major reasons for refusal of these applications, which though secured invitation to apply from a particular province or territory, but the owner of that business wasn't able to establish the total net worth in the thorough net worth verification process. So if you have any questions about your net worth, how you acquired it, whether you would be able to meet the test which most of the provinces and territories require, or if you wish to create a strategy within the legal bounds of law, that how could you succeed in the net worth verification process in one of the entrepreneur programs, you are most welcome to reach out to my office, and we'll be happy to assist in this.